Hey guys, what's up? My name is Star Levels Up, and welcome to BU2. Like I said, I was gonna play the sequel, and here I am. The comments I made on the game in the last episode about the dialogue being a little bit confusing and there being spelling errors, those are little things. I mean, I do give that critique as feedback to kind of help if the developer ever watches this, but I did like the game. I liked the premise, the concept so much that I did decide to play the second one, so here we are. Yeah, so if you've seen it, you know what's going on. If you haven't seen the first BU, the last episode that I recorded, go back and watch that first. And we're just gonna get right back in. This game contains some dark themes which some viewers may find disturbing, such as death and suicide. If you do not feel comfortable with these themes, I highly recommend not playing.
Birth and death are funny things.
There's voice acting.
People end, they stop, they die. I'm not sure how to put it more bluntly. But the echoes of their life lives on without them, in the memories of the people they meet. A little snapshot of their existence contained within another's brain. And then the way we change people. Our parents help define who we are, our teachers, our friends. Without them, we wouldn't be who we are. And even when they're gone, we still have that part of them in us. And then we change the people we meet. And so on and so forth. The echoes of life live on, even if the one that it started with is long gone. You even can get quite clear glimpses of people that have died possibly hundreds or even thousands of years ago in the text.
Didn't know it was supposed to click.
I mean, it's kind of shocking that you can read a book of some poor soul that died forever ago, but their words are still there, clear as day. It's quite the sight. Oh my. Today, something new will be born. It's your, beautiful baby Bonnie. I hope you take good care of her. You bring Bonnie home swaddled in soft blankets. You set her delicately down in her crib. She quietly begins to cry. Oh shit, baby crying. What do you do?
Okay, I liked the dialogue. I think it was read really quickly. I think you should implement a system where you read a line that's on the screen, and then when the player clicks, you read the next line. I got a little confused there. But we're into it now. I did think that was a really interesting dialogue intro. A lot of like the question of mortality. It's uncomfortable for some to think about, I think. We're gonna give
Attempt to acquire breast
Oh.
milk. Turn up the TV and grab a
No.
beer. Play her some Mozart, only the finest music for my child. Give her a soft toy. Give her a action figure.
Check her nappy.
Give her a
You plonk
Soft
down
toy.
next to her a little plush bunny rabbit. She seems mildly entranced by it. For a second it seems like true love at
Aw.
first sight. But then she proceeds to insert the bunny's face directly into her mouth. For a second you think about taking it away, but she's utterly content. Just chewing on that poor
That reminds
rabbit's
me of something I
face.
said in the last
Hey,
video.
If it works, it works. The
Okay.
next few years are comprised mostly of crying and pooping, and considering that I'm not a sadist, I'm not going to subject you to that. So I hope you don't mind, but there may be an itty-bitty time
Just a
skip.
little one?
6 years. It's a wonderful spring day. The sun feels warm on your skin. There's a soothing breeze
Okay.
carrying the smells of flowers and newly blooming life. It's a perfect day to go on a walk with your little Bonnie.
Okay, I think I skipped something on accident because I clicked and the text wasn't showing up on the screen, and then I don't know. But Bonnie's cute. I think the art is definitely improved too. She almost kind of looks like me.
As you peacefully stroll along, a little white rabbit jumps
Oh,
out in
God.
front of you. Bunny is simply
Please don't eat it.
overjoyed and reaches out towards it. But the next second, there's a sickening screech, and the rabbit is now
What?
airborne, being held
Aw.
in fierce talons, piercing through its flesh, staining its white fur so very, very, very red. As the hawk swoops off into the distance, Bonnie looks up at you, tears in her eyes. What'd you do?
I don't know. Oh.
Don't worry your little head about anything. That little rabbit always wanted to know how it feels to fly, so his friend Mr. Hawk thought he'd help him out with that. Must be a breathtaking view from up there. You hear the sound of a faint whimper in the background, but you still walk on.
No.
Oh, that rabbit had just escaped from super evil murder prison and was planning to blow up a orphanage. Yeah. The brave bird swooped in before it could do any harm. God bless our avian-based justice system. He'll be taken to trial, proceeded over by vultures. Survival of the fittest, motherfuckers! Get that fluffy bastard!
That's the best answer, to teach her about the circle of life and teach her about how, you know, sometimes you have to, other animals have to eat other animals to survive, but I don't want to say it like that.
You yell, "Who wants ice cream?" In an attempt to drown your child's sorrows in sugary
Ice cream,
treats.
definitely.
Please don't cry. I know it's sad, but hawks have to eat. Nature can be twisted. For predators, it's either eat adorable fluffy animals or
Yeah, I'm just
well,
gonna.
starve
Yeah.
to death. Bonnie cries a lot. A lot.
She's gotta know, though.
When I say a lot, I
She's
mean
gotta
a lot.
know.
When dinner time comes, she refuses to eat any meat on her plate. She vows to never consume the flesh of an innocent creature again. It probably didn't help that you were serving
Why
rabbit
would I
for
serve
dinner.
rabbit?
But the next morning, you cook some bacon, and as you can imagine, her stint with vegetarianism didn't last as long as hoped
Yeah.
for.
Sounds about right. That sounds like exactly the reaction I would have, to be real honest.
You see Bonnibel looking up at you, beaming. Her face and hands a rainbow smudge of chalky marks. In her hand, she tightly clutches a scrunched piece of paper. She raises it up in triumph. It appears to be an incomprehensible mess of scribbles. A mess of overlapping chalky colours. You assume it's a deep, postmodern representation of the human soul. But Bonnibel informs you that it is a dinosaur.
I can see it. It's definitely a dinosaur.
You clap your hands in delight. It's beautiful, my little Michelangelo. Back away in terror, letting out an ear-piercing
Oh
scream.
god, it's hideous!
You clap dragons away, call them dinosaurs. Get with the times, kid. Very postmodern. I see you're clearly taking inspiration from the school of Dadaism. Oh, your brushstrokes are reminiscent of Van Gogh. I'm really sorry, Bunny, but it just looks like scribbles to me. But nobody starts off good. How dare you waste my precious child's time with such inane tasks? You clap your
Be
voice filled with
nice.
glee. She's quite literally bouncing
She's a
around the place with
child.
happiness. Eventually, you both go back home and have a nice, peaceful nights of sleeps. But when you awake, you discover that every surface of your household has been covered
No,
in chalk.
Bonnie.
From the toilet, to the carpet, to the walls, to your own face.
She's gotta learn
You're
boundaries.
filled with a burning emotion. You quickly run to Bonnie's room, kicking down the door, and you scream, "Oh my god, we're gonna be fucking
What?
rich!" As your child's clearly the most prolific art prodigy of this generation. You bring round a few famous art critics to appraise Bonnie's wondrous work. They are not exactly encouraging. They recommend a cleaner. You tell them to fuck off. She's clearly ahead of her time.
I wouldn't react that way. I would teach her that she needs to keep her drawing to paper and using those specific. But she's a child. You don't you don't tell her, oh, I'm sorry, but you need to practice, because that's going to kill her drive for it. She's going to practice on her own when she sees that it makes you happy anyway. Just need to teach her some boundaries. And of course, don't be a moron and think that your child's skills are amazing. You're lying to her to make her feel better.
Dad, are slugs jealous of snails? It's just snails have those little houses on top of their backs, and slugs don't. It's just unfair. They don't have a place to hide and curl up in, or a nice place to sleep when it's cold outside. It just doesn't seem very nice. Well, life isn't fair. Deal with it. Dab. Considering the evolutionary viability of both of them, I don't think either of them are better off. I mean, slugs and snails have been around for thousands and thousands of years, and if one was superior to the other, they would have outcompeted one another years and years ago. But they're snails. Really, Bonnibel, snails? I'd expect someone with as much... I know, it is sad. Wait, when we get home, we can make some little shells for them so they can all be safe and snug. Well, they do have to carry their house around on their back all day. I know I would enjoy doing that personally. In the end, fairness always balances out. Well, during the Great Snail vs. Slug War of 1890, the snail Sir Leopold of Estonia wrested the crown from the ruling snail, King Jeremy the Gooey of the Back Garden, and in his victory he declared that no slug shall ever wear a shell again to remind them of their shameful defeat. Well, they do. I know, it is sad. Wait, when we get home, the aesthetic effect is quite interesting, considering all the snails in your garden now look like they've just rolled out of a Mad Max movie. And judging from how much your mailman started swearing when he accidentally trod on one the other day, Bonnie's method is quite effective. I like slugs.
Okay. I'm glad they're happy.
I like slugs too. Well, ew. That is gross.
I don't like slugs. I think they are gross, but I would never crush someone's dreams like that, so I would lie and just say, yeah, I like slugs too. That's fine.
You and Bonnibel have had a long day wandering around the great outdoors, peeping at wildlife. As you sleepily wander home, the sun already setting, the sky at dark blue, the last traces of light saying goodbye to the world. From the shadows, you hear a sickening crunch. Oh God, no. No, I didn't mean to. Out of the darkness, you see a poor, crushed little snail under Bonnibel's foot.
It's only a...
Bonnie. Oh, sweet pea, don't cry. It's all... You didn't mean it. It was an accident. It was a horrible thing to happen, but crying about stuff can't change it. Bonnie, we are higher life forms. There's no shame in crushing those who are
going to hell, you snail murderer!
You evil monster!
You monster!
Bonnie, I know it. I know it's bad now, but we can learn from our mistakes. Next time we go out, we can bring a flashlight, so if it gets dark, we can... You didn't mean it. It was an accident. It was a horrible thing to happen, but crying about stuff... When we make the slug shells, let's make them out of titanium, so it'll be super, super, super hard, and if they're trod on, they'll be chilled, they'll be fine, it'll be all good. Titanium shells, need it now. That thing, we do. It is the dead of night, and you hear a door slowly creak open. There is a small, scared voice. There's a monster under my bed. Bonnie, everything is okay, it's just a nightmare. Sometimes our imaginations just get a bit out of hand. Oh my god, there's a monster under your bed! What do we do? Quick, get my baseball bat. Bonnie, don't worry, I'm sure the monster is far more scared of you than you are of it. Only one of you is hiding under Bonnie, monsters aren't scary. What is scary is the unknown. It's the darkness, it's not being able to see. So, tomorrow I'll get you a book of monsters. So then you will know, and it will be no longer unknown. Therefore, no
Science.
more fear. Science.
I want to say that just for science.
give Bonnie a gun and say, "You'll be safe with this if you see a monster. Just don't worry, I'm sure there is not a monster under your bed. Look, just to make sure, I'll go check there for myself. Wake up after a peaceful night's rest. There was nothing under Bonnie's bed. Why would there be? The air is cold, the sky is dark, spooks and monsters abound, creeping through every shadow, with one thought burning in their minds. Holy shit, we're gonna eat a ton of sweets.
Pretty good. I haven't been able to say a lot in this game because there's so much dialogue that I feel like just watching me is boring, but at least you get to watch the game. Yeah, maybe I should have turned the voice acting off. I think it's pretty good. There's a bit, it's a bit jarring sometimes, but the only reason I turn it off would be since I'm recording a video and I can't talk over it, it makes it kind of awkward to watch. But we're gonna press on.
Bonnie's face is pressed up against our living room window, looking out at the majesty of Halloween. Spooks, ghouls, and ghosties abound, and princesses. For some unexplicable reason.
Some girls want to be princesses.
I don't know why. Don't fit with the theme. Don't make sense. Why?
That's what they want to be. Don't judge.
Sorry. That's aside the point.
Aside?
And on this fateful day, you have the chance to choose what particular spook, ghosty, or ghoul your little Bonnibel will dress up as. A queen, because if those other little girls are gonna be dressed up as princesses, your kid's gonna outrank them. A lawyer, because nothing shows the true evil of our world like our corrupt spiders do have 8 arms, and that would give you the a zombie, because all you need is pale green skin and moaning noises, and judging from the amount of candy Bonnie's gonna consume. A priest to show all those pagan sinners the true light. Note, make sure to tell Bonnie to yell at all the other kids, "Begone!" Bonnie dressed up as a snail. She rejected the perfectly good costume you picked out for her, and presented one, well, she made herself, out of a cardboard box and copious amounts of green sludge. A queen, because if those spiders do have 8 arms, and that would give you the addition of 4 times the candy-grabbing power. Bonnie most definitely enjoyed the costume, but it was met with mixed success. On one hand, our neighbour turned out to be arachnophobe. On the other hand, he gave us all his candy as well as £20 just to go away.
Good job. That means we did it. We won Halloween.
It's a lovely autumn day. Orange leaves gently drift along in the cold breeze. Once again, you're going for a walk with Bonnie. It feels peaceful. You feel quite content, numb to the world. Bonnie is happily skipping beside you. You can't even feel the cold breeze on your face. Everything's fine. Wait, you can't feel the cold breeze on your face. It's like November, you should probably be able to feel that. Your arm doesn't seem to move. You realise that the soothing sensation of numbness, it felt quite calming at first, but now you can't feel your body. All the sensations you lived your whole life with, the feeling of air rushing in and out your lungs, your heartbeat, your clothes on your skin, they were so omnipresent. It just faded into the background. You forgot about them, but now it's gone. Its absence makes you feel so empty. You begin to slowly topple backwards. For a second you worry you'll hurt yourself when you hit the ground, but you remember at this point your body seems not to be capable of feeling anything, let alone pain. You look up at the sky, your vision beginning to fuzz. There's a face, someone above you, someone you really should remember. Their mouth is moving as if they're yelling, shouting, calling, but you can't seem to hear anything. You attempt to speak, to try and soothe that distressed soul. You try to speak, but somehow you can't manage to get the words out.
You desperately try, repeating it over and over in your head, but in the end, there's only silence. The last experience you'll ever have is that single thought. I love you. It's all going to be okay.
I don't want to leave.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna
7.
miss your 7th birthday. It's funny, I thought it would hurt. At least I got to spend my final... I love you. I love you. At least I got to spend my final moments with you. It's all going to be okay. I'm sorry.
All those are really
It's all
sad. They
going to be
really
okay.
hurt. When you have nothing else, you have me. When all hope is lost, when reality is unbearable, look away from the world and you'll discover a whole new one, tightly embraced in my arms. I hope you never look back.
You hear a faint cry off in the distance, but suddenly the cries are not so distant.
A wave of noise hits you, cackling, hooting, screaming.
You can't tell whether the makers of the sound are going through the most sensual joy or the worst pain you could imagine. You open your eyes, the noise suddenly stops. You see strange figures in front of you, small, carrying a mixture of hope and fear on their twisted faces. One slowly creeps towards you, and it appears to attempt to bow, even though its body seems rather unsuited to the position. It splutters out. Please, please, save us. The world is big and scary, but now you're here. Everything will be okay. You can protect us from the monsters at night and feed us when we're hungry. Teach us what's the difference between right and wrong. Please, we beg you. The one who fell from the stars. Help us. Help us.
What the fuck is happening? They appear to have set up some sort of feast to celebrate the coming of their new savior. They seem to be happily chirping to each other in some sort of strange alien song, passing small cups of dirty water around as if they were wine, and happily munching on something that can be charitably described as very, very stale bread. For a second they all freeze and look up at you. One of them slithers.
Meet the manliest meals.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna end that episode here and pick up on another one, I guess. This video is actually a couple minutes too long, so I'm gonna see if there's enough gameplay in the rest of this game to fill out another episode, because I don't know how long it is. But thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode, I guess, because it's gonna be another one of these. Alright, well, leave a like and a comment down below and let me know what you think of this game. And like I said, I'll see you in the next episode. Bye, guys.